thing is, until you can erase 3 Februaries, shut up. Bang! Quality over quantity. LeBron has beaten some of the best competition in NBA history. He's the GOAT emoji. I will not cuss. I will not cuss. I will not swear. I will not swear.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is the Brian Snow Show.
Hurry up, late. This is the last time I'm going to be late. Welcome to the final 2 o'clock edition of the Brian Snow Show. Happy to have you all with us. Let me get these out here. I fell asleep after I signed off the morning show today. Oh, Lordy. And boy, when I tell you I crashed, I was doing good. I was running around. I was doing some editing. And then there's this thing. I'll get it together. I'm only going to be on for an hour today. And this is going to be an Ask Brian Anything episode. I got the news that Pat Fitzgerald, the coach of my beloved Northwestern Wildcats, has been suspended for 2 weeks, unpaid, for hazing violations. And it's disappointing to me because of everything that Northwestern stands for. My only hope is that they learn from this and we move on. I'm going to make this an Ask Brian Anything episode today. So if you're in the comment section or if you're just tuning in, fire off a question and I'll give you my thoughts. But I will also do this as well. This is the last Brian Snow Show that will air at 2 p.m. today because beginning Monday, the Brian Snow Show will move to 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific on all of our networks. So tune in beginning Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern. It'll go from 4 to 6, and we're gonna have a lot of fun. Same fun, just at a different time. And there's a lot that yours truly still needs to organize. That's why I'm only going to be on for an hour today, because I still need to strip this place clean and put a lot of stuff in place. If I get a pinch hitter for the second hour and I'm reaching out to people now, then that will be great. But I want to show y'all something. I mentioned my daughter Cheyenne this morning. This is the card that she gave me on Tuesday. It reads, "Great men make great dads." This is a big card. And the inside of it reads, "It's just that simple. Our family is so very lucky to have a great dad like you." And she writes, "Thank you for being my dad even when you didn't have to be. I love you, Pop. Cheyenne." And in one way or another, all of my kids have conveyed that message to me. And it's very, very sweet to get that from her, but to get that not just from her, but to get that message from all of my kids. And I appreciate every single one of them for that. I do. I appreciate every single one of them for that message, because at one point or another they have told me as such. And I know I'm running way, way behind on what we need to do. So I'm going to pause for a quick break and we'll come back. Throw your questions in the chat and I'll answer them. This is the Brian Snow Show, late starting version, and it's my own damn fault. I said it aloud and I'll continue to say it. It's my own fault that I started late, but I'll be back. thing is, until you can erase 3 Februaries, shut up.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is the Brian Snow Show.
Thursday nights are wrestling night on CSTV. Tune in every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific to see all the amazing Next Level Pro Wrestling stars on Thursday Night Throwdown on CSTVNow.com and the CSTV app on your Roku device.
PK Tire Pros, your one-stop on-the-spot auto service headquarters for a complete line of quality tires and auto services. For years, we have provided the Stockton, California area with the latest products and unprecedented services for everything we sell. And for years, our customers have been coming back. Take a look around. If you don't find what you need, visit us in Stockton, California. From the latest and best in tire technology to the services required to keep your vehicle looking good and running great, PK Tire Pros can get you out on the road quickly and at an affordable price. Stop by soon to see why so many people consider PK Tire Pros to be the one-stop shop for all of their tire needs. At PK Tire Pros, our friendly and knowledgeable staff, quick and dependable service professionals, and affordable prices all come together to make driving out on a new set of tires easy. On top of that, we never tire of tires. Stop by and see us, and you'll be glad you did.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is the Brian Snow Show.
I intend to keep it. As I said, this is the first Ask Brian Anything Friday episode of the Brian Snow Show. And as I mentioned, and I will do this throughout the program today, join me, Brian Snow, and the Brian Snow Show coming your way beginning at 4 p.m. Eastern, beginning this Monday. So let's get to some questions. Because some folks, the Hawk TV included, has dropped me some questions. I don't intend to be here long today because there's so much that I need to do around here to get ready to up the ante. And I'll explain that at the close of the show today. Where do you think Damian Lillard really lands? Our first question of the afternoon. I don't know. I mean, there are stories coming out that he was interested in becoming part of the Golden State Warriors before they traded for Chris Paul. And that wouldn't have worked because you're talking about 2 ball-dominant guards. With Chris Paul, it's going to work because Chris Paul is going to come off the bench. You're not taking Steph Curry out of the lineup unless Curry gets injured. Now, there has been a pinch of Curry getting injured. That's true. But he's not coming out. He's not coming out of the lineup. He's not coming out of the lineup. So to answer your question, I don't know. I don't know what a good fit for Damian Lillard would be. Who are the 5 best athletes? Ryan McCoffey joining us from Saratoga, New York. Saratoga, New York. Who are the 5 best athletes you wish played for your favorite teams? Well, I already saw one, Michael Jordan. He played for the Bulls for 13 years. And 5 best athletes who I wish would have played for my favorite teams. You know, I can't answer that question because I've already seen Jerry Rice play for the 49ers. I've already seen Randy Moss play for the 49ers. Joe Montana, I don't have to explain that. Michael Jordan, I don't have to explain that. They played with the teams that they were supposed to be with. Although I kind of have an answer for that. I kind of wish that I would have seen Barry Sanders run with San Francisco. With the offensive line that they had, man, oh man. Victor drops me this. What was the craziest high school baseball game you've ever called or watched? Well, I have two of them. The craziest game I ever called, one of them, was a state championship I did in 2014, where the Lamont Indians won on a 2-run walk-off single in the bottom of the 7th innings. For those of you who haven't watched high school baseball, they play 7 innings. That's one. The other craziest high school, there's so many in terms of baseball that I've called. I was covering Whitney Young one year, Whitney Young High School in Chicago, and they were playing top-ranked Simeon. And the game ended in a tie after 10 innings because of darkness. Ended up being tied 4-4. And that, like I said, that's because of darkness. I would love to have seen how that game would have ended, because I've called some long baseball games before. But I would love to have seen how that particular game ended. I would love to see how that particular game ended, but it was suspended after 10 innings because of darkness, because the field that we played at where the game was played, I beg your pardon, didn't have any lights. Didn't have any lights. Do the Orioles really have what it takes to win the World Series? No. Just plain no. Especially when you have to compete with Tampa Bay and Toronto in the same division. No. They don't have any pitching. Here's the problem. They don't have any pitching. And that's going to cost them later. Who are the 5 best athletes you wish would have won a championship? I will say one. That's Randy Moss. Because he had a shot to win. He had 2 shots to win a championship and lost them both. One with the Patriots and one with the 49ers. All my other favorite athletes have won. All my other favorite athletes have won. Okay? So, I don't know if I can answer that question. All my other favorite athletes, no matter what team they were with, actually won. Looking for the best way to experience live events? SeatGeek has you covered. With just a few taps on your phone, you can find the best seats for concerts, sports, theater, and more. Don't miss out on unforgettable moments. Download the SeatGeek app today and get ready for an experience like no other. Each ticket is vetted for authenticity and ranked on a 1 to 10 scale. And right now, if you use the code Snowman, you'll get $20 off of your first purchase. That's only through the power of SeatGeek. And SeatGeek presents Ask Brian Anything Friday. I think that's how I'm going to brand it going forward. Would have been great to have either Larry Bird or Patrick Ewing to have played for the Bulls. No. Nope. They played with the teams they were supposed to be with. And Patrick Ewing had the way cleared for him when Bill Cartwright came to Chicago in a trade for Charles Oakley. MJ, the second greatest player of all time? No, that's the greatest player of all time. Get it right. Just get it right. I would want Barry Sanders to run alongside Sweetness. Tempting, but no. They played who they were supposed to play with. Ryan McCarthy has an answer for the Hawk TV. Tony Gwynn, Charles Barkley, Pavel Bure. Pavel Bure. I haven't heard that name in years. Ken Griffey Jr. and Ty Cobb. The closest I can come to answering Hawk TV's question is Ken Griffey Jr. when he had some time with the Chicago White Sox. But even with that, I would love to have seen Ken Griffey Jr. get at least one World Series title. Same with Tony Gwynn. You know who else? Now that I'm thinking about it, now that my brain is finally awake, Andre Dawson. I love seeing Andre Dawson play. He was one of my first favorite sluggers. He was one of my first favorite sluggers, and I loved watching Andre Dawson play with Tim Raines and Warren Cromartie and that Montreal Expos team. I'll add Fred Taylor. Who's Fred Taylor? Can anybody tell me who Fred Taylor is? I certainly don't know. Oh, you're talking about a running back? I don't know who that is. Of course, there's a smile on my face. Wish he would have won. Well, if they'd have gotten the right pieces, he would have. Shane Lake drops a question for me. Most underrated announcer of all time, Jim Durham. And yes, I'm being a total homer on this. Before he went to ESPN in 1996, before the Bulls stupidly let him go in 1991, or after the 91 season, Jim Durham was the most underrated announcer in sports. I could add to that list, but he's the first person that comes to mind. You wondering who Jim Durham is? He's the fellow that did this.
Michael on the drive across the lane, turnaround shot, got it. 63 for Jordan.
That, of course, was April 20th, 1986. But yeah, Jim Durham was totally underrated, especially with him and Johnny Red Kerr. Most underrated announcing team I've ever heard. And I listened to them religiously for years before Durham left in 1991. Jim Durham also did this to the Cleveland Cadavers.
Here's Michael at the foul line. A shot on Elo. Good! The Bulls win! They win it!
And the Hawk TV, of course, had to chime in. Zydrunas Ilgauskas would have been won a championship with. No, because he had a chance to win with him. And they screwed up. They absolutely screwed up. I'm sorry. I hate to inform you of this, Hawk TV, but they screwed up. Matter of fact, I may just have Hawk TV come up for the remainder of the show. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. And I'm thinking about it. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. Our show continues with more of Ask Brian Anything after this. The thing is, until you can erase 3 Februaries, shut up.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is The Brian Snow Show.
We're not a cooking show. We're a show about cooking. We turn the camera around and point it at you. Our show takes place right inside your kitchen.
If you start me up, I'll never stop.
Thursday nights are wrestling night on CSTV. Tune in every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific to see all the amazing next-level pro wrestling stars on Thursday Night Throwdown on CSTVNow.com and the CSTV app on your Roku device.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is The Brian Snow Show.
You have one of those weeks where it gets interrupted by a holiday and then you're just completely thrown off. This would be one of those would be one of those kind of weeks. And there's something, Ryan McCarthy, that I need you to do for me. But first, let me do this. Attention sports fans looking for the ultimate gear and apparel to show your team pride. Look no further than Fanatics, the #1 destination for sports enthusiasts. Visit snowmanmultimediasports.com's website today and shop a wide selection of officially licensed merchandise from your favorite teams. From jerseys to hats, accessories to collectibles, Fanatics has it all. Don't miss out on a chance to elevate your game day experience. Head over to snowmanmultimediasports.com and gear up like a true fan with Fanatics. Fanatics officially licensed everything. That's one part of my game I'm going to really, really have to buckle down and improve. With the news that I got this morning that my YouTube channel, Snowman Multimedia, has been officially monetized. As Victor says best, now the game truly, truly begins. And there's a lot of parts of it I need to fix. You see the constant adjustment that I'm making with the camera. I'm going to be working on that. And, you know, what colors I should wear, because I can't get any natural light yet here in the studio without messing up the shot. I haven't figured that out yet. I haven't figured that out yet, but I'm going to figure it out. And as I did this morning, let me thank everyone that has subscribed to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel Snowman Multimedia yet, I encourage you to do so. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're over to 1,000. That's the next goal, and we reach the monetization goal, and now the work really begins to help get the word out there. And the other reason I'm not going to be around long today, just want to take some time to rest and get myself in a better position physically, especially when we move to 4:00 on Monday. It'll give me, and I'm making the move because it'll give me some time to rest in between shows, and especially when I do Sports Senseis on Tuesday, I can crash at 2:00, get about an hour down, and come on back and really deliver some great programs for you guys. And when I mean that, I really mean that. I really mean that. JJ says, "Can I come on at 3:30-ish? I want to congratulate you." I believe that I can do that. I believe I can do that for you, JJ. I'll get you the link here in just a moment. Matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do to help get through the remainder of the time? I'm going to do this. Since this is an off the wall, off the board kind of Friday, where I learned that my beloved Wildcats has suspended Pat Fitzgerald for a couple of weeks, and rightfully so. If you're if an investigation goes down and you are involved in hazing, you should get suspended. And like I said at the top of the program, hopefully they'll learn from this, and we'll move forward. Links in the chat for anyone that wants to come up and chat with me for a little bit. If you got a question, you can ask anything. This is my theme for Friday. This is my theme for Fridays going forward. And with the play-by-play schedule somewhat coming into focus, there's still a few things I need to move around. Going from 4 to 6 is actually going to be perfect. McCarthy drops me this question. If you could travel back in time other than the 80s 49ers, which team or athletes would you have wanted to see live? If I could travel back in time, the 70s Yankees. Because I was very, very young when I first heard about them and Reggie Jackson and how they dominated. And how they dominated. So that's one team I would love to see. I would love to see the 70s Cowboys and Roger Staubach. The team that got me started in football was the 49ers. But I would love to dip back in time to see how that Cowboys team with Tom Landry operated. Victor sends a compliment. Congratulations, Snowman. Your idea is expanding and will soon become an institution. Better believe it. Better believe it. And I'm enjoying how this institution is being built. Hey, Hawk TV, you see the link? Get up here for a few minutes. I'm inviting anyone who wants to come up and chat with me on this Friday to come on up. Just come on up and have a word. I do have 2 requests that you keep you keep it clean. All right. I am making the request that you guys keep it clean because we are on a television network and want to make this the best afternoon sports show that you will ever watch. Want to make this the best that you will ever watch. So while I'm waiting for more questions, Skip Bayless says FS1's Undisputed is taking a break. Fans wanting to see Undisputed featuring Skip Bayless and whoever his next debate partner will have to wait until August 28th when new episodes air. Bayless has been touting something big in his return, including seeing more of Grammy-winning rap artist Lil Wayne. Why? Why, Skip Bayless? Just why? What the hell are you thinking in bringing him on? And nothing against Lil Wayne, but it's a sports debate show. It's a sports debate show. Ryan says I never had the chance to see him live in Wayne Gretzky. I saw him live on television. I would love to have seen the old Northlands Coliseum and those Oilers in person. But I was a youngin' back then when I first discovered Grant Fuhrer, Wayne Gretzky, Mark Messier, and the Edmonton Oilers. Tom O'Boyle joins us, one of the men in charge of CSTV. What's going on, Tom? Good to have you with us this afternoon. And while we're waiting, I will go over this story a little bit more. As Pat Fitzgerald, as I said, has been suspended for 2 weeks without pay following an independent investigation into allegations of him hazing within the Wildcats football program. The outside investigation began last December under the direction of Maggie Hickey, former Inspector General of Illinois. In late November, the university received a complaint alleging instances of hazing occurring inside the Wildcats' normal locker room and at Camp Kenosha in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Man, oh man. Michael Schill, the president of NU, said, quote, hazing in any form is unacceptable and goes against our core values at Northwestern. Amen to that, where we strive to make the university a safe and welcoming environment for all of our students. Our athletics programs are held to the highest standards, and in this case, we failed to meet them. I expect today's actions will prevent this from ever happening again. Well, Michael, I hope you're right. Let me close that quote. I hope you're right. I hope you're right. Fitzgerald said, quote, I was very disappointed when I learned about the allegation of hazing on our football team. Although I was not aware of the alleged incident, I have spoken to university officials and they informed me of a 2-week suspension effective immediately. Northwestern football prides itself on producing not just athletes, but fine young men with character befitting the program and the university. We hold our student athletes and our program to the highest standards. We will continue to work to exceed those standards moving forward. Close quote. Good. Good on you, Pat Fitzgerald. And it's a 2-week suspension. Got to take it and serve it for anyone who even thinks of how bad hazing is. I've never gone through it, but I've seen it so many times. Let's hope that Pat Fitzgerald and my beloved Northwestern Wildcats learn from this incident. Here's Victor. Good afternoon, my friend.
How are you, Snowman? And I said
I'm
it in the
still
chat, but now I get to say it in person. Congratulations, my man.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
I want to say how proud I am of you first and foremost, and I gotta share this story because it's the one that you and I have always talked about.
Yes.
Years ago, when we actually first started living together, you were talking about really getting behind your company and start making it your own. And you said, "How do I do that?" And I said, "I take a lesson from the movie The Crow. You know, you start off with an idea." Your idea gains a solid, firm foundation. A lot of people gravitate to it. The idea expands, and the idea becomes an institution. And look what you've done. It's now expanding, and it's becoming an institution.
Well, still, it's like you always told me. I'm celebrating. Don't get it twisted. I'm celebrating, but I also know there's more work to do.
Yeah, now the real work is coming.
Real work, the real work and the real business begins. There's one very special person I'm going to share this with when she gets home tonight, and boy, I can't wait to do it.
Oh, you're going to be done for most of the night. I can say about this. You're going to be done for most of the night.
Look, I overslept in my nap, okay? How's that? I overslept bad. Because I made, you know what mistake I made? I set my alarm, but I didn't turn it on.
I've done that a couple times. So it's not it's not a big deal.
And I'm laying in bed and I'm going, wait a minute, something doesn't feel right. And I look and it's 10 after 2 and I'm going, uh-oh.
Oh no.
Oh no! Exactly.
From Spider-Man. Oh no!
Yes. How many of those would you know what I got Victor hooked on, folks? When we were living together in Gary, Indiana, I got Victor hooked on the old Spider-Man episodes.
Not only that, but like we would have several Saturdays when we weren't working Linwood, where we would be eating Cheerios. And
yes.
And watching old Spider-Man cartoons.
Well, Tom, I thank you for this. If any businesses are interested, we're looking for a sponsor for both the morning and the afternoon shows. Appreciate that so very much. You're not crashing yet, Sick. There's a couple other people I want to crash first, and I want to keep this in order as best I can.
And as far as the Fitzgerald situation, I mean, this is a situation where you just take your L and go sit down.
And that's what he's doing.
And you know,
it's only a 2-week suspension for the most popular and the most successful coach in Northwestern football history.
Yeah, and also it's a situation like, okay, even if it's a better look because you say, you know what, I messed up, I was wrong, I apologize. You know, I'm going to take this suspension on the chin. When I come back, I'll be a better person.
Now, how come a lot of people can't do that?
Because people can't admit when they're wrong.
That's all I want to know. How come a lot of people can't do that?
Because they don't want to admit they're wrong. They don't want to admit that they're wrong.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, we had a situation.
Because if they admit that they're wrong, it's a sign of failure.
Well,
according to them.
We had the dubious distinction of what happened when Jackie Robinson was going to win the Little League World Series.
2014.
Yep. And then we found out that there was a lot of underhand things going on.
And we knew half of those kids.
And we did. We knew half of
those kids.
We called them.
Okay, Tom threw a good one at me.
Okay.
Let's debate. Best sports franchise, not New York or LA. Golden State Warriors. Take that.
Now, is he talking about just like cities or is he talking about the franchise themselves?
Probably both.
Okay, so
He says Detroit Red Wings. Since when? Of course, I'm kidding as I say that
Detroit has
because
a good
Detroit used
pedigree.
to kill us.
I could say
We're
Blackhawks.
a Blackhawks fan.
Yeah, I could say
Detroit used
Blackhawks.
to kill us.
San Antonio was always really solid, particularly in the early
I say they are. I say they're still solid. Especially with what Greg Popovich is going to do with Wembanyama.
Right.
And I'm waiting to see how he coaches him. I am waiting to see how he coaches him during the regular season. Do me a favor, folks. Well, let me ask the general sports public to do a favor. Take the expectations down for Wembanyama, please.
Yeah, just treat him like a blank slate. See what he does. This is the problem. This is the problem. And we go back to Monday. What Deets was talking about, expectations. When a new player comes in, for some reason, we put these lofty expectations. I mean, do you think that you would have been still as annoyed with LeBron James as you are if they didn't put such lofty expectations of him being the next MJ?
I'm still annoyed with LeBron because I've watched him.
Right. But I'm just saying, like, if they didn't put those lofty, just let him be him, let him start off, would you still be as annoyed with him as you are, or would it be like a little less so? I believe it'd be a little less so because, like, okay, they're letting him go at face value.
You really don't know me very well, do you?
Well, I've only known you, what, 25 years now? I would hope so.
And I say that jokingly, but I also say that because, yeah, you lessen the expectations, but would we see the same? Would we see any development in this game at all? There's my point.
If
my point.
If the expectations are not there, then there is no. You take what he does at face value, and then you gauge his improvements within each year. So if he goes from, say, only 9% from 3 to maybe 20% from 3, you're like, okay, he's getting better.
You know, he was there for a while. He was there for a while after 2008 in that incredible Eastern Conference Championship Series, where it went 7 games against the Boston Celtics. And I thought at that time that he would take the next step into his ascension.
Right.
But to me, it just seems like he went backwards.
Well, he quit. Well, I guess I shouldn't say he quit. But it's like, I think his frustrations got so far from what he was that he says, he kind of gave up.
Even try.
He gave up. He's like, I can't win with the Cleveland Cavaliers. I can't win with them. I've been in this league, what was it, 7-8 years at the time? And he's like, I can't win with this team. No matter what I do, I can't win. I have to go somewhere else to win a ring. And you heard that in the decision. I can't win with this team. I got to go somewhere where I can win a ring. And that's why he took us out to South Beach.
But there's fault on both sides. There's fault with him.
Yes.
And there's fault with the management. Because unlike the real king, Michael Jordan, who depended on his management to get him the players that they need, and they built through the draft, by the way, Hawk TV. When the right players were drafted and came along, that's when the job got done.
Well, I always say this. When I say I got mad at LeBron, it wasn't necessarily me defending Dan Gilbert, because I have no sympathy for Dan Gilbert. He never really put a real competent team around him. Yes, he got an aging Shaquille O'Neal, and that's fine because Shaq is Shaq. But who else did he have with him?
Who else did he want with him? Well, let me try that again. It's not a matter of who else he wanted with him. It's like you just said. Who else did he have with him?
And so Dan Gilbert never gave him that. So then LeBron said, well, if you're not going to give me what I need, I have to go somewhere else. The thing with my issue with LeBron with the decision was stop lying. And you heard me say that when we were watching that stupid thing or the highlights of the decision. It was like, stop lying.
Man, and
He said, "Oh, I just figured it. I just thought about it last night, and I decided, like, no, it didn't come to you in a dream that you could join up with two other.
Says who?
Well, he said
that's my question. Says who?
He said he wasn't sure until the night before the decision.
Wrong.
And I'm like,
he was
dude,
sure.
It didn't come to you in a dream that you could join up with two other bona fide all-stars and create your big three down in South Beach. You knew you were going to leave after you lost in Boston. You knew
he knew he was going to leave in 2008.
And I agree with Sig Diggy. In the words of Chris Bates, Negro be lying.
And he was lying.
He was lying, on, man. You were lying
big time.
So that was my issue.
Big time.
And he did do Cleveland dirty in this respect. You knew you were going to leave. Release your contract.
Yep.
Release your contract. Say, you know what? I'm not going to win here. I need to go somewhere else. I need to change a venue. You can release my contract. We'll part off as friends. Hey, we might work later on in our careers. But I can't be here anymore.
And my next two words would be, but no, he didn't want it that way.
So he handcuffed the organization for the entire summer. And then when he finally, when it was right after free agency basically stopped, was when he made his decision and let go of his contract. So they didn't have anything left. So Cleveland didn't have any other big name players that they could have brought back to possibly keep LeBron there. So it's like, you did him dirty.
Yeah, and the city of Cleveland spent a lot of money to try to keep him there, and they failed.
I mean,
kind of tells you about the city of Cleveland, doesn't it?
When your city does a whole big "We Are the World, please stay LeBron." I mean, there's a difference between passionate and pathetic, and unfortunately, Cleveland was on the pathetic side of that field.
Dear Lord. Dear Lord. Why did you have to mention that song to me? I mean, true as you are, don't get it twisted. True as you are.
And then
you.
To really
you had to mention that?
To really put the nail in the coffin on that was like, not only did he then go from, we love you, LeBron, please stay, to, F LeBron. He's coward.
Within a heartbeat.
I was like,
within a heartbeat.
And you wonder why he left. And you wonder why he left. I mean,
you wonder why he got the hell out of Dodge.
Right. I get it. He lacked the integrity to just be upfront about it, but you were not doing him any favors.
None whatsoever. Let's take a pause. When we come back, we got more of Ask Brian Anything Friday on the Brian Snow Show. Back in a bit. The thing is, until you can erase 3 Februaries, shut up.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is the Brian Snow Show.
Done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
If you're talking, they will hear you.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how. And we tell them with honest conversations that let them know what we expect. Not just one time, but every chance we get. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. Kids not only need to know the dangers and how to avoid them, they need to hear it often from you. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be taken without a prescription and never shared with friends or family. It's dangerous and illegal. So talk with your kids and guide them through the challenges of growing up safe and healthy. Because when you talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
So talk, they hear you. You can do it if you try.
He was only 58 years old when he passed away. That outcome could have been different.
Colorado happens to be one of the worst states for radon levels.
It's in our ground, and it seeps up.
The more you breathe radon, the more chance you have of DNA being hit and the cell mutated. The EPA estimates 22,000 lung cancer deaths a year caused by radon.
We all make choices. When it comes to alcohol, kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad.
Bye-bye.
Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Have fun. Hey, have a seat for a second. Remind me about that party again?
Alex is just...
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. They want guidance and honest answers to their questions. And it makes a difference when the message is consistent and part of everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path. Because when you talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
The thing is, until you can erase 3 Februaries, shut up. Bang! Quality over quantity. LeBron has beaten some of the best competition in NBA history. He's the GOAT emoji. I will not cuss. I will not cuss. I will not swear. I will not swear.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is the Brian Snow Show.
We continue on. This is Friday Ask Brian Anything edition of the Brian Snow Show, and it's presented by betus.com. Sports bettors, listen up. Your favorite sports book is back and in our 30th year of action with live in-game betting, incredible odds with daily odds, boosters, props, and parlays, fast payouts, and exceptional one-to-one customer service. We got it all. And when you sign up and use the code Snowman, you will get a 125% deposit match. Log on to betus.com or call 800-792-3887. That's 800-79-BET-US. betus.com, where the game begins. Riding shotgun is Victor Locke, and I promised I would keep this abbreviated. I know JJ wants to come on and congratulate me, but if y'all were to see the mess that's around me right now, and I mean this in terms of my office being in shambles and in disarray, and I thought I put it together yesterday. Nope. Nope. You know me too well.
I do have a question. And let's go back to the morning show.
Yes.
What in God's green and blue creation possessed Dwight Howard to open his mouth to say anything? Dwight Howard, who hasn't done a doggone thing in, I would say, in over a decade now. And he's
Why'd you have to ruin my afternoon with that question?
It's a valid question.
It is. It is.
You haven't done a doggone thing.
Even with that bubble team.
Even with the bubble team. And then Nikola Jokic, who won the championship, like, I'm gonna take pot shots at him.
You know what, Ryan? I'm gonna make you throw up, but I'm gonna make you laugh at the same time. You want a comparison? Compare Dwight Howard running his mouth to Antonio Brown running his.
I was gonna go there. We now have the clown triplets. We have Antonio Clown.
Mm-hmm.
We have Colin Clownpernick. And now we have Dwight Clownward.
Led by Jerry Clown Jones.
Yeah. Coached by Pennywise.
Oh, God.
And led by Jerry Clown Jones.
How can you be a fan of the Cowboys and you got Pennywise coaching your team?
I'm a fan of the Cowboys. I'm not a fan of Pennywise.
How?
I'm a fan.
How?
I'm a fan of the franchise. I'm not a fan of the clown that's our coach.
But still.
No. Because I explained this to a friend of mine when he asked the same question. Like, how are you a fan of the Cowboys? I said, the 90s. He said, oh, gotcha.
With a nod to the past and a look to the future. That was part of Pat Summerall's intro for the 92 NFC Championship. Well, the future ain't looking very bright.
Pat Summerall was an amazing storyteller.
Wasn't he? Dick Enberg.
Yes.
Yeah. Someone asked me earlier about an underrated announcer.
Hawk TV.
I immediately went to
Jim Durham.
As popular as Pat Summerall was, he was an underrated announcer because remember when he first got with CBS, he also did NBA basketball.
Mm-hmm.
He also did NBA basketball.
I mean, he was amazing. But I mean, Pat Summerall was a lot like Jim Ross. In the sense that he really could get you. Yes, he could get you. He could talk you into the seats. He could talk you into watching the game, even if the game you had absolutely no interest in.
None.
If Pat Summerall, God rest his soul, Pat Summerall did an intro to introduce the Cleveland Browns and the Houston Texans, people would watch.
I can't find the lie in that statement because Pat Summerall set it up.
Yes.
My favorite Pat Summerall intro ever was this one.
Championship game. They have never, ever beaten the Cowboys in a playoff game either. I tell you, it's going to take some kind of miracle.
Some might say it was only a catch, but pro football hasn't been the same since. The 49er dynasty was officially launched that day, and although the faces have changed over the years, the results have not. The Niners are still on a roll. No one has won more games than San Francisco since then. No one has won more Super Bowls, and the ball keeps on bouncing their way. Soaring out of the darkness and into the spotlight are the new stars of America's team. The tailspin that began over a decade ago hit rock bottom 4 years ago. Dallas won once. Now they bounce back to within one victory of the Super Bowl. It's deja vu all over again. San Francisco and Dallas, the established champion versus the young upstarts for the championship, with a nod to the past and a look to the future.
If that don't get you ready for an NFC Championship game,
you have no idea how many times I heard.
I think the boys in Cleveland said it best. If that doesn't get you excited, you don't have a pulse.
No, you really don't. If this does not get you hyped up, nothing will. Nothing will. And that's the beauty of being a historian, of being a storyteller.
And I hate you for making me laugh for saying if he introduced the Cleveland Browns and the Houston Texans, people would watch.
But wouldn't you? And then you would be halfway through that game, and you'd be like, why am I
What the
watching
hell
this?
am I doing watching this game?
Right. Like, why am I watching this garbage? But then you're like, Pat Summerall taught me into the seat. Because of just how he can tell the story. I mean, that tells the story. You know, the Cowboys were the established team. Here comes a young upstart in San Francisco. They already won already.
Mm-hmm.
They're there to basically protect the crown. And Dallas is like trying to pick up the pieces.
And then 10 years later, flip the script.
Exactly.
The Niners were the established team, and the Cowboys were the young upstarts. Thank you, Jimmy Johnson.
Exactly.
Thank you, Jimmy Johnson.
Look, I've always been a fan of the Bears versus Packers, but I really don't think any rivalry comes close to Dallas and San Fran.
There's a couple that would argue with us on that point, but I'm not gonna argue. Listen, folks, my hour's about up, and I know I was gonna have JJ on, but there's just so much that I need to do here. So I'm gonna call it a day and a week early. Victor, thanks for hopping on for this abbreviated hour. I appreciate you. I appreciate y'all. Don't forget. Let me do this the right way. Do not forget that the Brian Snow Show moves to 4 p.m. beginning Monday, 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern, 1 to 3 p.m. Pacific time.
I'm gonna need y'all to pray for me because I will be in the office next week, all next week.
Dear God.
Yeah.
Dear God. Please pray for Victor. Please.
Take care, you guys.
I love y'all. I'll see you Monday.
Thank you for tuning into The Brian Snow Show, where sports is the base, life and fun are the results.